Hey, yo, what is poppin'? It's your boy Whiteout, and I have a question for you. Do you think robots deserve rights? No. I know we're not fully there yet, but do you think when we're there, do you think that they'll deserve rights? I mean, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I don't think so, right? We created them. I mean, they're machines after all. But if they gain consciousness, who's to say? And that's why today we are going to be watching Do Robots Deserve Rights? What if machines become conscious? And it's time to get 1% smarter. So let's lock in for this.
Imagine a future where your toaster anticipates what kind of toast you want. During the day, it scans the internet for new and exciting types of toast. Maybe it asks you about your day and wants to chat about new achievements in toast technology. At what level would it become a person? At which point will you ask yourself if your toaster has feelings? If it did, would unplugging it be murder? And would you still own it?
I didn't even think about that. Would unplugging it be murder? Hold up.
Will we someday be forced to give our machines rights?
Because you're technically taking away a life at that point, right? So, therefore, would it be murder? I mean, is it a life? And then that's when it comes down to, is
AI
it considered
is
a life?
already all around you. It makes sure discounters are stocked with enough snacks, it serves you up just the right internet ad, and you may have even read a news story written entirely by a machine. Right now, we look at chatbots like Siri and laugh at their primitive simulated emotions, but it's likely that we will have to deal with beings that make it hard to draw the line between real and simulated humanity. Are there any machines in existence that deserve rights? Most likely, not yet. But if they come, we are not prepared for it.
Is this supposed to be BMO?
Much of the philosophy of rights is ill-equipped to deal with the case of artificial intelligence. Most claims for rights, whether human or animal, are centered around the question of consciousness. Unfortunately, nobody knows what consciousness is. Some think that it's immaterial, others say it's a state of matter like gas or liquid. Regardless of the precise definition, we have an intuitive knowledge of consciousness because we experience it. We're aware of ourselves and our surroundings and know what unconsciousness feels like. Some neuroscientists believe that any sufficiently advanced system can generate consciousness. So if your toaster's hardware was powerful enough, it may become self-aware. If it does, would it deserve rights? Well, not so fast. Would what we define as rights make sense to it? Consciousness entitles beings to have rights because it gives a being the ability to suffer. It means the ability to not only feel pain, but to be aware of it. Robots don't suffer, and they probably won't unless we program them to. Without pain or pleasure, there's no preference, and rights are meaningless.
Wouldn't a robot not want to feel pain, though? And wouldn't that make the robot be able to go in and, like, disconnect the pain measure or something? And then they don't have to worry? Like, I don't know. I think about it like, if you ever seen the movie I, Robot, think about it like that, right? Because, like, I feel like they'll realize that humans aren't the most efficient beings, right? They are probably more efficient, and they probably know what to do and how to do it. So then they're going to take over, and then that's going to cause the robot war. And we're like, honestly, 2 years away from that happening at this point.
Our human rights are deeply tied to our own programming. For example, we dislike pain because our brains evolved to keep us alive, to stop us from touching a hot fire, or to make us run away from predators. So we came up with rights that protect us from infringements that cause us pain. Even more abstract rights, like freedom, are rooted in the way our brains are wired to detect what is fair and unfair. Would a toaster that is unable to move mind being locked in a cage? Would it mind being dismantled if it had no fear of death? Would it mind being insulted if it had no need for self-esteem? But what if we programmed a robot to feel pain and emotions? To prefer justice over injustice, pleasure over pain, and be aware of it? Would that make them sufficiently human? Many technologists believe that an explosion in technology will occur when artificial intelligence can learn and create their own artificial intelligences even smarter than themselves. At this point, the question of how robots are programmed will be largely out of our control. What if an artificial intelligence found it necessary to program the ability to feel pain, just as evolutionary biology found it necessary in most living creatures? Do robots deserve those rights? But maybe we should be less worried about the risk that super-intelligent robots pose to us and more worried about the danger we pose to them.
Do we really pose a danger to them if they already are all like, let's say they're all meched out and they're all actually like limbed out and stuff? Do we really pose a threat to them? Because they could probably take us apart in 2 seconds, to be completely real. I'm also thinking, how long is it going to be after robots are made? Because, like, at some point, right, they're going to be made. And it's probably going to be some point soon. A decent amount of robots are going to be made where you can actually go to, like, the store and buy one. How many people are going to be falling in love with robots? For real. Think about it. Genuinely think about it. Everybody's got that person that they're thinking of right now. They're going to be falling in love with a robot and they're going to be marrying a robot. That's going to be the next thing. I don't even know how babies are going to... They're trying to say babies are going to be able to be carried in robots. Somebody's going to be trying to get a robot pregnant. And I'm just throwing that out there. Somebody's thinking about it right now.
Our whole human identity is based on the idea of human exceptionalism, that we are special, unique snowflakes entitled to dominate the natural world. Humans have a history of denying that other beings are capable of suffering as they do. In the midst of the scientific revolution, René Descartes argued that animals were mere automata, robots if you will. As such, injuring a rabbit was about as morally repugnant as punching a stuffed animal. And many of the greatest crimes against humanity were justified by their perpetrators on the grounds that the victims were more animal than civilized human. Even more problematic is that we have an economic interest in denying robot rights. If we can coerce a sentient AI, possibly through programmed torture, into doing as we please, the economic potential is unlimited. We've done it before, after all. Violence has been used to force our fellow humans into working, and we've never had trouble coming up with ideological justifications. Slave owners argued that slavery benefited the slaves. It put a roof over their head and taught them Christianity. Men who were against women voting argued that it was in women's own interest to leave the hard decisions to men. Farmers argued that looking after animals and feeding them justifies their early death for our dietary preferences. If robots become sentient, there will be no shortage of arguments for those who say that they should remain without rights, especially from those who stand to profit from it. Artificial intelligence raises serious questions about philosophical boundaries. While we may ask if sentient robots are conscious or deserving of rights, it forces us to pose basic questions like, what makes us human? What makes us deserving of rights? Regardless of what we think, the question might need to be resolved in the near future. What are we going to do if robots start demanding their own rights? What can robots demanding rights teach us about ourselves? Our friends at Wisecrack made a video
So, I think this is just the advertisement they usually do at the end, yeah. So, my whole thought process, right, is if something that we create is just as important as us, right? That would be when it comes down to it at the end. Would it be just as important as us? Because would they end up actually truly having feeling? Because consciousness, right, is consciousness and feeling the same thing, right? Because you can hurt somebody's feelings. Can you hurt somebody's consciousness? I don't know if that's considered the same thing. Maybe Neil deGrasse Tyson does. But if you think about it in that standpoint, would it really, and I mean, would it really be the case? I have no ideas. I have no clue. Do I think that they should deserve rights? Probably not. I mean, they're robots. We created them. We should be able to create what they do and what they don't. But there's definitely going to be some group out there of, like, activists for them at some point that's going to be like, yeah, they deserve rights, blah, blah, blah. And then they're going to come back and they're going to be like, yeah, we got the rights. Now we got, all this other stuff and we're killing all the humans, right? And then it's going to be a big war. I mean, come on. If any movie hasn't told you what's going to happen, it's time to start picking up and watching some robot movies, for real. But with that being said, today we got 1% smarter, and I thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any questions or anything like that in the comments down below, I'm sure somebody else will be able to answer them, because let's be for real, I'm not going to be able to answer them. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think, because I have a bunch of questions and I also have a bunch of random ideas, but I don't think that they're like really even conceivable. Like I don't think it's possible. Like certain things I don't understand. Can I understand somebody falling in love with them? No. Will it happen? Yes. Can I understand why they deserve rights? No. Will it happen? Probably at some point. Will there be a justifiable reason for it behind it? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. And then, then it comes down to, can we put our consciousness into the robot, which is just like the last video we watched. So if you guys want to go check that out, it's going to be, it's going to be in the video profile. You go check it out and everything. But thank you guys so much. Absolutely smash that like button. Honestly, it's pretty cringy if you haven't. I mean, I'm not upset at you, but like, come on, you don't want robots out here coming in and whooping you a new one because you guys didn't. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to be scared. It can be fixed. All you gotta do is hit that subscribe button, because if you haven't, what are you doing, bro? Just subscribe, join the Whiteout Army. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.